Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're diving into the world of ELROND and specifically talking about the price action of EGLD. Guys, as we get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all this said, done and out of the way, let's dive right on into the price action of ELROND and EGLD here. And so we're going to start off things off, guys, by taking a look at this daily chart. Okay, so we want to kind of highlight where things are looking like they're going. Obviously, we have set new all-time highs recently at the beginning of September. Recent pullback, retesting that 618 area of the chart. This coming in at $172.29. And from here, that pullback, we did see another retest of the previous high of $246 before pulling back down to the 786. And again, that was a $200 range. Moving up nicely now in the last couple of days, we have started to see a bit of an increase, and we are looking to go up towards those all-time highs. But guys, I'm going to go through with you something that is actually occurring on this daily chart. It's been actually starting way back in May, right? And we've basically been forming a cup and handle. Now, this is quite a sloppy one, but it's something that is still in play right now. Basically, we have a cup, we pull back for the handle, and then we go and target up here for the $455 range. This is basically completing the pattern. Now, and this is sloppy because of a couple of things, right? First of all, the high of our handle is higher than the start, so that makes it quite sloppy. Not that it's completely invalidated, but it's not very neat and tidy how I generally like it. And the other thing is that the handle has actually quite a short one. It didn't fall down too far. It found good support on the 618, right? So a bit of a pullback, but not too serious. So it's a small handle. And again, I don't generally like that either. I like to see, basically the left side of our cup and the right side of our cup equal. And then obviously I like to see at least a 50% of the cup as the handle. Now, obviously, we haven't quite seen that, so it's a sloppy cup and handle, and usually these patterns are about 60 to 70% accurate, and as a result of that, it's a higher probability with the sloppier versions of this that they don't actually come all the way to fruition. That being said, though, it is not going to stop a price discovery overall for ELROND and EGLD. We do have some interesting targets that we want to be talking about. And guys, today's video has been sponsored by Crypto.com, the world's fastest growing crypto app. With Crypto.com, you can buy cryptocurrency at the true cost, and you can sell when you are ready. You can also earn a nice, juicy passive income on your crypto holdings. And guys, for those who are familiar with the channel, you'll also know that you can get hold of their debit card, their prepaid debit card, where you can earn cash back. This is something that we did with Chris's Land Rover. If you're unfamiliar with that video, do check out the channel. But Chris was able to get 3% cash back on the purchase of his Land Rover Sport. So definitely something worth doing, guys. There is a link in the description down below. You can use our link to basically get $25 USD for free once you actually apply for their debit card as well. So why not check out Crypto.com today and take advantage of the fantastic offers that are available. Guys, let's continue with the video. Right, so based on the performance of the top here in April time, so April 12th was a peak at $246. From there, we actually saw a bit of a pullback, really when we got into the lower areas in June 2021, right? So right the way down here. If we take that performance into consideration, that then shows us moving up steadily to $869 with the full 4.236 extension on the Fibonacci. Now, on here, we are, of course, heading towards our first target. That first target of the 1.618 comes in at $365. And this is an area that we were tackling at the beginning of September, but obviously had the pullback of September. Okay, so obviously now we're obviously going up back to the previous all-time high, which actually comes in at $303. Okay, so we have a little bit of work to do to take out that area there. But again, if we do complete the cup and handle, then we're talking about a $455 move anyway, right? So pretty significant push to the upside. After that, we have a 2.618. This comes in at $558. The 3.618 comes in at $750. And then the 4.236, as I said, $869. That is a total of 228% from the current price today. So some pretty good moves still to be had as we continue the growth to the upside on ELROND here. Pretty good project. This is a project that I do think has some serious potential. And this might sound like a disappointing number. I know that a lot of the community talk about $10,000 ELROND and EGLD, and that is something that is very much possible, but it's not something that I can see happening this particular cycle, right? Based on the performance that we've seen so far, there is obviously a theoretical limit unless something fundamentally changes, right? So if we do see something fundamentally change that could actually then spike things up, then obviously you have to take that into consideration. But right now, based on everything that this data has available to us, it's actually indicating 869 this cycle, and then obviously we're talking a few thousand in the next cycle and so forth, right? So interesting times do lie ahead, but for now, obviously, let's just manage those expectations. Let's see if we can complete this cup and handle and go towards that $455 range. Now, at this point, we're going to jump over to the advice.io dashboard, okay? And links in the description down below, guys. Do check out advice.io. It is completely free. Sign up, and you'll be able to get more information and more detailed data about the underlying value of cryptocurrencies, right? And it's artificial intelligence led and with machine learning, so there's no human bias or anything like that. And basically, it helps us understand what's going on at a deeper level for these cryptocurrencies. So here we have ELROND EGLD, and we have a B1 rating overall. Okay, that's not too bad, pretty neutral, not greedy, not fearful. It's not FOMO, it's not going to zero or anything like that. It's a nice kind of comfortable level to be in. So we want to be seeing how this changes and adapts over time, right? But as we go down, we can see a little bit more of the detail, and there's a few things that are really interesting right now with the underlying data for ELROND. And if we start off with the 𝗕𝗢𝗪𝗔 ratio, this is an A2 rating. So 𝗕𝗢𝗪 is your liquidity, and there's no problems with that A2 rating. So basically, no problems with liquidity. Everything's looking pretty good. You can buy and sell ELROND without any issues whatsoever. As we come down here, we have a Sharpe ratio, the A2 rating. Again, second best rating that the platform can give. And the Sharpe ratio is your risk-reward ratio. Right now, it's actually in your favor, saying that the rewards outweigh the risks, and therefore you might want to have some exposure to ELROND or EGLD, right? In this particular case. So overall, the Sharpe ratio is looking very, very good. And the reason that I talk about the Sharpe ratio is that we also have a fear and greed index here. That's a C3, right? So C3 is extreme fear. So these two things, when they see them like this and you see them side by side, it makes the entire market very, very clear on what's going on right now. We have extreme fear in a market which is actually saying that actually you want to be exposed to ELROND, and you might want to actually hold some EGLD, right? And yet the sentiment out there is very fearful, and this is all because of stuff that's been going on with Bitcoin, and no one really knows if Bitcoin's a bull trap or if it's going to go higher, is it going to come back down, what's going on? No one really knows, and no one's really comfortable in investing in the market right now. So right now we have an incredibly fearful market for ELROND, and that's interesting because we have a Sharpe ratio that's indicating that actually it might be a good idea to have some exposure to it, and then you have some people who may be acting emotionally and selling their ELROND and their EGLD at a discounted rate, and that's the kind of fear that you want to be buying up. So it's always important that we acknowledge what's going on from a risk-reward ratio perspective, as well as our fear and greed index. What is the sentiment looking like, and what other issues are there? There's no problems with liquidity. So there's no reasons to be overly fearful, other than the fact that there's other projects that might be causing general disturbances within the market. The moving averages are an A2 as well, so there's no problem with the moving averages. The profitability is up there at an A1. There's only one metric, according to this artificial intelligence and machine learning, that is out of place, and that is the fear in the market. So right now, we know that there's a lot of fear in the market. We have some interesting price targets that we just went through them, right? Moving all the way up to $869. And from the current position, that's actually pretty good, right? We are currently trading, I think, at $265. So we're looking at 200% gains to be made. And the people are selling at a discounted rate. So that's the kind of thing that if you're in the mood for potentially buying up some ELROND, this is the kind of scenario that you want to be paying attention to. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, nor is Chris, so it's important that you do your own research. And that's why I say sign up to advice.io and register and log in and use this platform to your advantage, right? So right now, everything on the underlying data is looking actually very, very good, with the exception of the unreasonable amount of fear in the space right now. So as we come back to the charts and we talk about this cup and handle moving up to $455, we should also expect some volatility on the smaller timeframes until that sentiment changes in the space. So with that being said, let's jump down to our hourly. Okay, and it's on this hourly chart, guys, we can see some interesting things. Let me just zoom out here. Right, so we had a downward trend from our $303 at the beginning of September. This was coming down. We actually had an upward trend. Again, this was tracking from way back down here in the 7th of September. Okay, this was an area that we tested on, and we basically broke the downward trend and we broke up right past the resistance level at 244, pushing back up and then kind of sideways trading, just coming back down to retest our trend line and then shooting back up a couple of days ago. And now trading sideways. But if we actually take a deeper look at what's going on here, we can see that fear in the space right now. And we'll do this by throwing the volume on. Okay, and what we have here is basically a couple of pockets of buying volume, so people who are aware of what's actually going on here, unreasonable amounts of fear, and actually the exposure and the risk-reward ratio, that sharp ratio, is actually saying you might want to be exposed to it. So there's a few people here you can see that basically are buying up that dip, buying up that fear at these reasonable levels before things go to the north side. There's obviously a little bit of selling pressure here. Right here, there's definitely some trading or something going on where we can see that basically a large amount was dropped on the market. Other than that, the volumes dropped back down, right? The volumes dropped down as the price moved up. That's that fear in the space. And then as the price dropped down, the volumes went up. Okay, we can see that just here. And that's the kind of fear that we're looking to try to stamp out, but also the opportunity to dollar cost average better positions in the space. Right now, we can see that there was a one green candle here that was actually good volume. Other than that, right now, we're actually seeing nothing occurring. So we've used our stochastic RSI from our oversold area down here to just move the price insignificant amount to the upside, and now we are looking for another correction to the downside. So overall, we should be concerned over this, and I think ultimately what we'll end up doing is just trading sideways in a very similar way that we saw over here until things line up nicely and we get another push to the upside. With that being said, we do of course have our upward trend. Let me just take those volumes off for a second. Okay, so we have our upward trend line. I can just go ahead and throw that there. And if we continue to trade sideways like this for a few days, we'll touch this trend line again, and they'll probably send us back to the upside as well. Overall, the sentiment in the market is the odd thing out. Everything else is lining up nicely. And the more that traders recognize what is going on, the more likely it is that they're going to start trading these retail investors as well. So it's important that you understand everything that is going on. And as a retail investor, use the tools that you have at your disposal, right? Use EVI.io's platform. It will help you understand exactly what is going on. If there are problems with liquidity, if there is problems with the fear and greed index, if there are, of course, just generalized problems with the Sharpe ratio. Is the risk to reward ratio shifting? Actually, do you want exposure? Do you not want exposure to ELROND? And all of that kind of good stuff. Couple that data with the charts and you should be grand. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there, but hopefully you have found this useful and informative. If you have, hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.